Hi, it's Mrs. Velasco. I'm going to making a recording to help understand how to factor out a greatest common factor. So this sheet here is from today. I'm going to go over 7, 9, and 12. Okay. So number 7, I'm going to write it on my whiteboard. Okay, is 8x to the 4th plus 4x cubed minus 2x squared. So we're factoring out the greatest common factor. Okay. So the first thing you do is find the GCF. So find the GCF. Okay. So how do you do that? So we look at the coefficients, and some of you might already know, well, what's the greatest common factor, but if not, we make the factor charts. So what are factors of 8? 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. Okay. Then we do the same thing for 4. 4 would be 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. And then 2 is just 1 times 2. Okay. So we circle what they all have in common. Okay. So they all have in common a 1. Okay. But the other factor they all have in common is a 2. So 1 is a common factor, but we want the greatest common factor. So that would be 2. Okay. So part of our GCF is 2. So GCF would be 2. But now we have these variables with the exponents. So the easiest way to do it is, what exponent is the smallest? Is it 2, 3, or 4? 2 is the smallest, so that is the greatest common factor for the variables. The other way to look at it is, if you have x to the 4th, that's 4 x's. X to the 3rd power is 3 x's, and we just line them up underneath, and x squared is 2 x's. So how many full groups can we make? We can make 1 full group and 2 full groups, and that's it. So that's where that 2 comes from. But the easier way to do it is look at the exponents, which one is the smallest, and that's your greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor is 2x squared. That's the first part. Okay, now the next part, let me put it like this. Sorry, it's hard to see. Now you're going to divide. Okay? So I'm going to rewrite that first. I'm going to rewrite that polynomial. So 8x to the 4th plus 4x to the 3rd minus 2x squared. Okay, so the second is divide by the GCF. Okay, what do I mean by that? So take each term and divide each term by this greatest common factor. So I'm going to divide this by 2x squared. I'm going to divide this one by 2x squared and this one by 2x squared. Okay. So then what do we get? Okay. The greatest common factor we're going to put on the outside, 2x squared, and then we're going to put parentheses. So how do you divide? Take the numbers first. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay. And then x to the 4th divided by x squared is 2. The rule is subtract the exponents. Okay, so maybe you want to write that down here. Or maybe I will put subtract, the exponents. Okay. Now we do the next one. 4, so positive 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then we subtract the exponents. 3 minus 2 is 1. So we could just put it 2x, or if you want to put the 1, that's fine. Okay, and then the last one. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. And x squared divided by x squared, well, we subtract the exponents. 2 minus 2 is 0, so we just leave it. We don't put x to the 0. And then here's your answer. Now, we could check it by distributing or by doing the box method, okay, but we'll do this quickly. So 2 times 4 is 8, x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. 2 times 2 is 4, and then this winds up to be x to the 3rd, and this will be negative 2x squared. All right, so that was number 7. Okay, I'm going to do number, I forgot what I even said. Okay, let's do number 9, and okay, let's just do number 9. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so let me erase this, and then we'll do number 9. Okay, so number 9, I'll put it here, is 15. What is it? A squared b. A squared b, and then plus 45ab. Okay, first step, find the GCF. So again, if you want to take more notes, you want to do like a factor table. Okay, so I'm going to put 15. What are factors of 15? 1 times 15, 3 times 5. Okay, that's it. Then we have 45. Okay. So we have 1 times 45, 2, 3, 4 doesn't work, 5 times 9. Okay. We have, oops, sorry, I skipped one. 3 times 15 is also 45. So what do they all have in common? Well, they have the 1, the 3, and the 5. Oh, and a 15. Okay. Those are common factors. What's the greatest number that I circled? 15. Okay. So 15 is the greatest common factor for, I'm going to put here, okay, for the coefficients. Okay. Now we have to figure out the variables. We're going to take them independently. So let's look at the A's. And remember, or maybe I didn't write it, it's the one with the smallest exponent. Okay, so if I look at the A is 2 or 1 smaller. 1 is smaller, so I'm going to put an A here. And then I look at the B's, and they're both the same, so it would just be a B. So this is the greatest common factor. Now I'm going to do the second part, which is divide by the GCF. So let me rewrite this here. That doesn't work. Okay. So 15. Maybe if I find something that works a little bit better, I'll just do it here. A squared b plus 45ab. Okay, I put the GCF on the outside. Shoot. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, I'm dividing everything by the GCF. 15ab and 15ab. That's over here. So I put the GCF on the outside. 15 divided by 15 is 1. If you want to write the 1, you can. Then I subtract the exponents. So I'm going to write an A here. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay. Then I look at the B. This would be 1 minus 1 is 0. So we don't write anything there. So this would just be A. Put the plus sign. Now I go to this side. 45 divided by 15 is 3. Then I look at the variables. A divided by A is 1, so I don't write anything. And B divided by B is 1, so I don't write anything. So that is your factored. This is how we factored out the greatest common factor. Okay, And then I will do one more. I think I said number 12. Yeah, we'll do number 12. Okay. I'm not sure why this is. Okay, great. Okay, so number 12 is 16 x squared y to the 4th plus 12 x squared y to the 3rd. And maybe we did this in class, but I'm going to redo it here. Okay, so the first step again, find the greatest common factor. And that's what we make the factor tables for. Okay, so 16, the factors are 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. Okay. Then for 12, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3. What do they have in common? They have a 1. Let's see if this works. No. They have a 1. Maybe this doesn't work either. Okay, I'll try this. They have a 1. Okay. They have a 2. And they have a 4. Which is the greatest number? 4 in both of them. So we're gonna factor out a 4. Okay. But now we have to look at the variables and exponents. Okay. So we look at just the piece of paper here. Okay. We look at just the x's. So we have x squared and x squared, which is the smallest exponent. Well, the exponents are the same. It's a 2, so we have x squared. Let's look at the y's. We have a 3 and a 4, which is the smallest number, 3. And that's it. So that's the greatest common factor. Okay. Now we divide by the GCF. Okay. So again, I'm going to rewrite the original polynomial, 16x squared y to the 4th plus 12x squared y to the 3rd. Okay, the original, and then I'm going to divide by the GCF. So I'm going to divide both terms by x squared y to the 3rd, divided by, 4x squared y to the 3rd. Okay, now when I write my final factor, I put the GCF outside, and then I divide. First divide the numbers. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Then I look at the variables. X squared divided by x squared is 1, so we don't write anything. Y to the 4th divided by y to the 3rd. We subtract the exponents, so 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay, now we're done with that one. Now I look at the second one. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Look at the variables. X squared divided by x squared is 1. We don't write anything. Y to the 3rd divided by y to the 3rd is 1, and we don't write anything. So this is the final factored form of the original polynomial.